Today is Tuesday is brought to you by MSI, the leading brand in high-end PC gaming. The music source. Make your live streaming look and sound professional. Get your Mackie and other pro audio products at the music source. XSplit, a live streaming broadcast application. And Smart Communications. Lead the smart life. Click the links below our video to avail of all our sponsors' products and services.
Today is Tuesday, you know.
Good evening kanyang lahat at welcome na naman dahil
Today is Tuesday.
yan, today is Tuesday, 8 PM na po ng gabi kaya umpisa na ang Tuesday. Yan, no? So, our girls are back dito sa ating sa ating show. Jing Garcia po ng TechSabado.com and of course, the Manila Times. And alam naman natin tuwing Martes, today is Tuesday dahil po Martes ngayong gabi. And here we talk about anything and everything outside technology, which we always do on TechSabado. Pag Saturdays naman po yan with Atty. Melvin Calimag of Newsbytes.ph. Pero dito po sa Today is Tuesday, pakantayin ulit natin.
Today is Tuesday, you know what that means.
Okay. Good evening ulit. Again. Good evening sa inyo lahat. Thank you. Welcome po sa Today is Tuesday. And of course, pumapasok na po ang ating co-host. Pero marami tayong ngayon, marami tayong pag-uusapan. Meron po tayong special co-host ngayon gabi. Walang iba kundi si Miss Noemi Dado-Lardizabal ng Momblogger.
Hello.
Good
evening. Hi.
Good evening, Momblogger. Siya po ang sikat na Momblogger. Isa rin po siyang columnista sa The Manila Times. Nakakasama po namin yan sa TechSabado pero para po sa Today's Tuesday, first time niya po sa ating programa ngayon. Good evening, Momblogger.
Hi, good evening, Jing. Good evening, everyone. Happy Tuesday.
Yes, tama. And ang ating latecomer, na late ng what? 1 minute. Na pink to pink. Walang iba kundi si Tito Tribdino ng Malaya Business Inside. Good evening.
Hoy, magandang gabi. Tito Jing, magandang gabi at saka magandang gabi sa bago mong kulay na buhok. Magandang gabi po. Magandang gabi po. Ma'am Noemi, magandang gabi. Hi. Kakagaling ko lang, Tito Jing, sa chat kay doon sa ating isa pang special guest, si Pinoy Ako Vlog.
Yes, mamaya nandito siya.
Jovero. Kaso hindi daw siya makakarating. Nagkaroon ng emergency. Nasa hospital pa sila ngayon. I hope, sabi ko nga sa kanya, I hope it's not a serious emergency. Sabi ko,
yes.
manood ka na lang, tapos kung pwede kang humabol-habol na lang po.
Of course, hanggang tayo dito? Hanggang past 9.
Yes.
Oo. Diba? Yan.
Tito Jing, hindi ka nagbalita sa buhok mo, dapat sinundan na kita.
Hindi, napagtripan ako ng akin commander-in-chief. Tripan yung buhok ko. So
may painting ko, diyan maitim pa buhok ko.
Actually, gulat na gulat kayo ating boses ng ating konsensya nung nagpakita ako sa video. Kapansin mo ba, Noemi?
I noticed it. I like the salt and pepper look.
Nawala yung salt and pepper ko. Naging naging blondish.
Really blonde?
Di naman. Lang. Napagtripan tayo ni Tita Mel.
Yeah. Good job, Tita Mel.
Boo!
Look younger.
Yun yung inaantay ko. Sinabi ng tito ni Momblogger na I look younger daw. Okay. Ayan, tatawanan sila. Narinig ko, tatawanan sila outside my safe zone.
Yes.
Nagtatawanan nila ako. Okay, dahil ngayon ay Marso, siyempre this is our second show for March. Actually, this is our third, pero this is our second show na mayroon tayong na women guest dito sa Today is Tuesday. And of course, pag-usapan doon natin the whole March, no? And of course, sana beyond, no? Women empowerment, di ba? Actually, gusto ko kaya natin sinama dito si Noemi, Momblogger, para may kwento niya kahit bago siya bago tayo magkwentuhan lang tayo dito. Pakwento muna natin sa kanya how she started, kasi I'm sure may mga nakikinig sa atin gusto rin mag-vlog, gusto rin to be to be to be known sa social media and to become an influencer, 'di ba?
Oh, yeah.
And of course, mami na siya, nag-influencer pa sa social media. And of course, wag natin kakalimutan, siya isang tanyag na kolumnista sa aking pahina sa The Manila Times.
I know.
Yan.
I think being a columnist gave me a lot of windows, or doors. It opened the doors actually, yung being a columnist. Kaya talagang pinagtyagaan ko yan, deadline.
You never miss a deadline.
I know. From the airplane to the bundok, shifting planes, talagang sabi ko I should never make an excuse not to submit. Parang discipline ko lang yan. So speaking of how I started, I got inspired by my daughter. She was only 9 years old when she was journaling. Hindi pa siya tawag blogging, it was a journal.
This was back in 1990s pa.
1995. She was around 9 years old.
Okay.
So I thought, maganda ito. But I thought blogging was for young people. So, but then there came a time that I said, I think I should have a blog because I lost a son and I wanted to share my story. And matagal na yan sa brain ko na I should start a blog. Ganyan. And then I followed this popular blogger. And then she was so popular and I said, will I ever be like that? Parang, I want to be like that, because I want to, be a big influence and promote my advocacy. Basta, you know what? It's always, if you plant it in your mind, it will happen.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's what happened in 2006. So I'm on my 16th year. And I've seen it evolve from blogging to new media and then social media. So I saw
the evolution, no? You've been there. Sa buong evolution.
I saw how it started and the elections and bloggers were part of the election. So, it's so interesting. And then you invited me to be a columnist, and then I thought hanggang doon na lang ako. And then I was invited to participate in YouTube, and suddenly I'm in video. And I hate video because you have to look something and you have to portray yourself. And then from video, naging TikTok na ako, Instagram Reel. So, it's really about evolving yourself, no? You never stagnate just because you're a blogger, hanggang blogger ka na lang. You really have to grow and adapt with the times. And I think that's really good for a person. You can adapt to the times. You're not stuck in one place. And it's always a learning experience. You really grow. So, and blogging has really made me feel young. So, when somebody calls me tanda, mga trolls, they call me tanda. Kaya alam ko troll yun. Alam ko troll yun eh. Kasi ang tawag sa akin tanda, and I see that sa mga trolls since 2016. So, anong tanda? Sabi ko, I'm proud of where I am. It's not an insult to be called tanda. I mean, there's no denying it. I get older. So,
lahat naman tayo.
We get older. So, I really enjoy being a blogger and a columnist. Mm-hmm. I'm proud of that. I'm proud to be a columnist of Manila Times because you can see that it's very diverse in Manila Times,
Yes, yung political spectrum, no, despite the fact na pagbibintangan yung Manila Times na very biased on certain certain political color, hindi po, talaga napaka-diverse po talaga ng Manila Times. And isa sa pinaka napapansin ko sa mga social media properties ng Manila Times, si Momblogger mas pinakatinitira.
I know.
Na mga sa comment section, di ba? Momblogger, talagang ikaw yung medyo favorite ka.
Oh, because
she's ka ng mga tao.
She's a lamb among many wolves.
Sabi mo naman sa mga comments, bayaran ako ng Manila Times. Of course, I'm a columnist there.
Of course, yes.
But I'm not paid to write my opinions, I mean, it's mine. The editor gives me all the, freedom.
Yes, because we have the freedom of speech, and that's one of the ways to exercise that freedom is to have your own columnist. The problem is people don't but cannot differentiate an opinion from news. That's
Oh,
nagiging problema po ng mga tao ngayon, di ba?
that's true, di ba?
Yes. Syempre, yung opinion ni Momblogger, ni Noemi, sa kanya lang yun. Mga tao siniseryoso, akala nila balita yun eh. Pero,
Ikaw nga eh.
column nga eh. Pero, syempre, kahit na opinion na yon, nasa tamang lugar na opinion. Ito po yung opinion na alam naman natin na pwede nyong kunan ng magandang informasyon, inspiration. At the same time, walang halong walang halong false information. Kasi yan, actually, kaya ako kinuha si Noemi as a columnist for the Manila Times, ito Tribs, kasi pareho galit kami sa false information, sa misinformation at saka sa disinformation. And yan, isa sa mga project na ating ginagawa sa amin, sa mga columns niya. Di ba, Noemi?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, when I started being a columnist in 2018, I already wrote about disinformation just all throughout. I think more intense in 2016. And then the Manila Times during the elections like that. But grabe talaga, I cannot catch up with the fact checking, when posting about it. Grabe talaga. It's really a lot. And you have to be as fast as the lies come through.
Yes,
Kaso, Noemi, Momblogger, I think the big issue here, it's easier to generate lies, di ba?
Yeah,
and di ba, and because it's so easy to generate lies, merong may tawag sa communication process, na tawag yan yung opinion marking symbols, yung gagamit tayo ng words and phrases that we can express our feelings and emotions. Tapos yung mga nagsisinungaling dun sa web, kukunin nila yon, tapos gagamitin nila, babalik na rin nila yung usapan, tapos dahil na-establish na yon, di ba? Because you establish it. It's like a lead paragraph. And then when you use it and then you reverse it, ang daming naniniwala. Naging problema yan ni Pinoy Ako Vlog, ni Hover, nung nagsimula siya, di ba? Ganyan din siya, binabanatan siya because she was...
mas lalo na when she was revealed kung sino siya.
Yeah, lalo na.
The person behind Pinoy Ako Vlog.
Tapos diba? Kung ano-anong mga Kaya nga ako I once invited her to become a columnist for Malaya, but she was really very busy taking care of, kasi aside from writing it, she's also a fact checker. Nauubos ang oras niya diyan dahil sinisigurado niya na yung isusumbatin niya laban kay Thinking Pinoy, tsaka kay Sasot, tsaka kay Mocha nung mga panahon na yon. Ngayon nga parang nawala na sila, naubusan. Hindi naman siguro naubusan, kung hindi alam nilang wala na. Wala na silang lugar dahil wala nang popondo sa kanila, di ba?
Hindi lang 'yun. Alam mo naman yung mga gantong sitwasyon sa mga lalo especially pag may kadikit kang ganyan. 6 years ang lifespan mo.
Yes,
patapos na yung 6 years na 'yun eh.
Yun nga yung isa sa mga itatanong ko kay Hover kung nandito siya sana. How did, di ba, meron siyang BBC interview, tapos binanatan siya, hinarang yung sumulat, I forget his name, hinarang ni Sasot at saka ni Mocha. Tapos kung ano-ano mga sinabi nila about how she was interviewed, claiming na hindi daw fact check yung mga sinasabi and so on and so forth. Daming tinira na ganon. Pero, in the end, panalo pa rin si Hover kasi ang kaagapay niya katotohanan eh. Ang hirap pagtakpan ng kasinungalingan, pero yung katotohanan lutang diyan. So we use the word lutang, di ba?
That's true. Kaya nga sinasabi ko sa yung mga ganyang tao, 6 years lang yung lifespan. Kita mo si Momblogger, more than a decade na siya nagbo-vlog. At the same time, nag-start siya earlier pa. But then again, tingnan mo naman yung yung staying power niya kasi nga nandun siya sa truth, nasa side siya ng truth. Ganon din kami mga journalist. Ilang presidente na dumaan sa amin, wala kaming kinampihan na presidente. Meron kami mga ini-endorse, pero wala kaming kinampihan na as if parang idol namin sila na fanatiko kami. Alam namin hindi tatagal yun eh, yung mga ganon yung fanaticism. Kaya kami nagtatagal as journalist kasi nga, kami, di ba?
I've criticized VP Lenny before. So grabe, I was attacked by the Dilawans. And they call me a Dilawan. People know that I was not fan of the Dilawan. So, ganyan, if you are for the truth, you're in the right track. But to be too partisan and not see everything, parang that's where that you'll get stuck. You'll get stuck in that. Kahit
kami, we were very harsh sa governance ni Benigno Aquino Jr.
Ah,
Kasi
yes.
alam namin kung ano yung nakita namin kung ano yung mali. At kahit na binoto namin siya, nakita pa rin namin kung ano yung mali. Tapos ngayon tatawagin nila kami mga dilawan.
Correct.
Oo nga sabi ko, if you only knew how I was
Yes, kung alam
trolled.
lang nila, di ba?
Yeah.
Kaso hindi nila inaalam eh. Yun ang
Oo.
problema doon. They don't backtrack kung
They
saan
don't.
tayo nanggaling. Yun na yun eh. Kahit naman si Lenny, if Lenny wins this election, hindi naman tayo magiging panatiko sa kanya at
Correct.
i-idolize natin siya na as if hindi siya nagkakamali. 6 years lang yun eh. After 6 years, alam nga after 6 years eh, hanggang buhay namin, ganun lang. Hindi, we will still be, kahit wala na si Lenny, nandito pa rin kami.
Tsaka we are the ones giving her the mandate, di ba?
Yes.
To lead us. Therefore, accountable to us.
Accountable
as people,
siya sa atin.
Di ba?
Yes.
Accountable. And
Yun.
naiintindihan yun yung masaya dun eh. Naiintindihan na yun. Hindi, si President Duterte, sa pool pa lang, pinasara lahat ng kalaban, pinatahimik ang Rappler, pinasala ang ABS-CBN. Pati sa Malaya, dinidiinan kami. Kaliit-liit kami ng Malaya.
They weaponized they weaponized the law against everyone else.
Correct. So it's so difficult. And that's why if Lenny wins, it's up to us, tayong mga, bakit ako naka-pink? Tsaka kita mo yung pink kong Volkswagen.
Yeah, it's up to us to hold her accountable kung ano man mali sa kanyang gobyerno.
Yes.
And she also told her supporters to monitor her promises. I mean,
of course,
she's allowing them to monitor and criticize her because that's the only way.
That's the
yun na
only
nga
way.
Ganun din naman sinabi ni Duterte sa nung bagong eleksyon. And when we call him out, red tag tayo ng mga
Oo.
ng mga followers niya.
Mga followers niya, di ba?
Kakaiba call out yung mga promises na hindi na nangyari or whatever, pino-call out natin. Red tag naman tayo. O teka lang basahin ko lang yung mga nasa comment section. Medyo madami-dami na to. Baka ma-miss ko na, may mga ma-miss tayo. Si Jericho E. Casil, hi, good evening po. Michael Lance, happy Tuesday. Tito Jing at Tito Tribs, happy 2nd anniversary sa inyo sa lockdown.
Oy, salamat.
Josa Matet, good evening po. Today is Tuesday at sa mga kakamping, of course. Macy Felix Vihilla, magandang gabi Kuya Jing at Big Brother Raymond. Hana Isabel Elhera, good evening po. Jeff Beck Buckley, good afternoon. Jing and Trips, nakikitambay sa iyo. Mabuhay ang mga kakampings. Of course, Jeff Beck Buckley, welcome ka parati dito. Nagtataka lang kami, parang hindi ka nagtatrabaho yata dyan sa lugar mo. Kasi hapon na nakatambay ka sa amin dito gabi na. Nasa Saudi po si Vicencio Ortiz. Alvin Pingol, good evening. Happy Tuesday, Sir Jing and Tito Trips. May bandila siya ng Ukraine, si Alvin. Mel Dominguez, Pogi naman, bumata daw ako. Wow, syempre, ikaw gumawa nito eh. Laughing out loud. Marnie Thompson, hi Noemi, sabi ni Atty. Marnie. Sirkit Gavino, magandang gabi, Tito Jing at Tito Raymond. Hello, Miss Noemi, sabi ni Mel. Renato Tranquilino, hello. Ano ba talagang totoong survey? Ang tunay na survey, yung nakikita ng drone. That's why there's a drone, because it surveys. Di ba? Yun. Joey Antiquisa, good evening po, Sir Jing and Tito Tibbs. Ngayon anniversary ng first lockdown, March 15. Oo nga, no?
Yes.
Today is anniversary nga ng second anniversary. Ay, tama ba? Second anniversary.
Anniversary.
Joey Antiquisa, it's the second anniversary. Pero binabati tayo ngayong araw na to, no? Kaya mamaya pag-usapan natin, where were you on March 15? Renato Taquilino, ano ba't ayun sabi niya? Teka, umano kasi bumaba. Okay, Familia Olarte, good evening po. Tester Mulo, hello, good evening. Dami. Hello, Noemi, sabi ni Marnito, if you tell the truth, you don't have to remember anything. Tama, totoo yan. Doon ka nahuhuli dahil nga hindi mo maalala eh. Si Elaine Legaspi, good evening po, God bless everyone. Selective memory daw, sabi ni Tranquilino pag yun nga, pag you don't tell the truth. After 6 years, Lenny, baka si Melda na campaign. Evelyn Dominguez, bagay. Sino sabi ng bagay daw yung buhok mo? Good evening, Attorney Evelyn. Alam mo si Attorney Evelyn, isa yan sa mga mabait na lawyer dito sa Cavite. Isang tumulong yan, Noemi, yung mga remember nagkadamputan ng mga leftist na
yun na yun? Yung recently?
Di ba? Recently, after the rally. So, si Atty. Evelyn, isa dyan sa mga,
Very good.
rumesponde para sa mga nadampot. Okay, Michael Lance, may bago tayong Pinoy Pride, may unicorn na tayo, yung 13.4 billion startup ni Atong Ang.
Ang husay.
Ano yun? Yung isabong niya?
Isabong.
May gulay.
It's a unicorn.
Hindi niya pansin, yung lahat ng problema ng bayan, iisa yung tao, isang laro. Oh, sabi Tina David, gwapo mo, Sir
daw.
Jing. Yes. Sige na. Kaya pa kasi sama ng loob. Alam niyo na masama ang loob ko eh.
Tito Jing, meron pang isang anibersaryo ngayon bukod dun sa pandemic. Noong 2018, nag-file si Jover Laurio ng isang kaso. I believe it was a libel case or against R. Joseph Nieto, si Thinking Pinoy, tsaka si Alan Troy Sasot. Nag-file siya ng kaso. Nung
this
ano yun?
What? This is about what? The case again about...
Ano yan? Libel yan eh. Nung tinitira siya, so very libelous and malicious yung statements niya, attacking her person, ganyan, di ba? Pag makita mo yung mga, it was really morbid, tsaka talagang bastusan yung labanan na yun. Wala na kasi silang masabi. Kaya
lawyer nila, si Gadon?
Isa pa yun. I don't know. But yon, that happened 4 years ago in 2018.
Okay, sige. Talakpakan natin yung si Hover, sana manalo siya sa kanyang
Grabe her energy, si Jover.
Yep. Grabe.
Actually, yung time na na-discover kung sino yung person behind the vlog, dun talagang nagkaroon talaga ng diyan papasok yung yung tungkol sa anonymity ng SOCMED, di ba, because of that bill na sinabi nga kailangan yung identity mo dapat known sa social media, and that's that's one of a perfect example kung bakit kailangan ibang tao anonymous sila. Basta okay, iba kasi naman talagang ginagamit maliciously, pero ibang tao kasi hindi naman they just want parang a peaceful living na hindi sila ma-harass just because they're expressing their opinion. May mga ganyan
At Tito Jing, yung right to anonymity really covers whether you're going to use it for bad or for good, di ba? Unlucky na lang tayo pag ginamit mo sa katarantadon, but it's still a human right to have that covers you, di ba?
Yes.
So, di ba? So
I believe so kasi hindi ko alam kung
it's
yung
like having a pen name, di ba?
Correct.
Yes. Even Jose Rizal did that.
Yes. Oh, I used to be an editor of an online news site, and then I allowed some of the writers to be anonymous, to have a pen name, and I knew their name. So if something happens, I will also be. If there's a libel case, I'll be accountable for it also. But I allowed it because their opinions are it's out there, but it's really they're opinionated and they're afraid to get harassed, but especially their family. So I understand, and I allowed it.
Kaya, ulitin ko lang yung palagi natin sinasabi, Tito Jing, since today's Tuesday is also an advocate of free speech, battling against fake news and disinformation. Anonymity is always the shield from the tyranny of majority. So yun ang lagi natin sinasabi. It is the shield from the tyranny of majority.
And
diba?
Pag yan pa tinanggal sa atin, di ba? Sa kangkungan na talaga tayo pupunutin, di ba?
Correct.
Wala nang proteksyon yung mga tao.
Lalo na sa digital world.
We're not protecting criminals here.
Yes.
Ang kailangan lang dito pag-intingan na ang tawag doon to make more effort yung mga law enforcement when it comes to that. So dapat hindi iasa sa atin, di ba?
Correct.
Because the problem kasi if you put your real name out there is, in my experience being trolled, hindi lang ako ang they're targeting. They targeted my husband, my children, and people close to me, even my friends. So parang I want to spare them. Just hit me, but don't include my family. Kaya talagang we really need that anonymity. anonymity, ganyan. So,
And
Kaduwagan.
another perfect example na bakit na yung totoo yung sinabi ni Noemi, ni Momblogger tungkol diyan, yung harassment. Doon na lang sa mga lending apps.
Oh, yes. Yes.
'Di ba? Yun ang mga lending apps 'di ba? Nung nang-harass sila dahil alam ng lending app kung sino siya, kung sino ka, hinaras nila yung mga contacts ng tao.
Correct.
'Di ba? 'Di ba? Yun ang hinaras nila for them para magbayad ng utang. Diba?
Multiple violations yun, Tito Jing. May violation ng anonymity, may violation ng data privacy.
Yes.
Di ba?
Oo.
Meron violation yun ng data privacy.
Tsaka,
the National Privacy Commission took action to their credit dyan sa mga financing apps na yan. Tapos nag-cease and desist order sila.
Yes.
There
Buti
was a
na lang,
cease and desist
buti na lang
order.
napaka-aggressive din ng ating and assertive ng ating mga law enforcement when it comes to
and you know what they do?
Privacy. Okay.
You know what they do also? They create your name, your example, your real name, and then they put it in some social networking sites and pretend to be you. And
yes.
Grabe talaga.
Identity theft.
That. I've been trying to get my Twitter name before, buti na verified na ako. Because somebody was using my name on Twitter. I think YouTube also, grabe ang harassment ko those early days, 2007, 2008. And they would even contact senators.
Di ba? Yun na nga isa sa mga magiging problema rin ng yung exposed yung identity mo online. Kasi okay lang kung matino lahat ng tao. Wala namang problema kung wala namang criminal out there. Pero meron. They will use your identity, especially pag nakalkal nila yung mga personal information and they know you're an existing person na alam nila lahat. Tapos nakuha nila lahat ng information about you. They can use it for their advantage and that's called identity theft nga.
Correct.
Diba? Imagine identity theft na perfect. Nakuha lahat information. Alam niya lahat ng information mo. Diba? Sa kung identity theft lang na ang alam lang yung ginagamit lang yung name mo Pero kung alam lahat, di ba?
Scary talaga.
Yes. Dapat talaga makatikim ng makatikim isa sa mga senador ng identity theft para maramdaman nila.
Oo.
Diba? Kung ano yung talagang problema. Hindi naman ang problema hindi naman problema yung gusto nilang mangyari sa batas na yan.
Correct. Tapos may mga senador dyan, ginagamit, wine-weaponize yung law para yung cybercrime para matakpan yung mga previous crimes na nangyari.
Yes. So, pag-uusapan po namin dito tungkol po sa identity theft at saka yung right to anonymity is yung SIM registration law.
The SIM registration law.
Hindi ko nga alam kung nandun na
na ba yun?
Yeah, kasi nga dapat once nasa Malacanang siya, after 30 days, dapat pag hindi pinirmahan,
it becomes law.
It becomes a law. Ang problema, ang tiyatanong ko nga kila attorney kung nakikinig sila, tapos si attorney nga, sabi niya, nandun na ba? Nasa Malacanang na ba? Yun ang tapos doon daw mag-start kasing count. Parang wala akong narinig about it
Kung dumating na sa Malacanang.
Yes, wala akong narinig. And I think medyo ang tawag dito, oras de peligro na dahil malapit na eleksyon.
Yes. Kasi nung December pa yan, Tito Jing, yung December pa yan, nilipat we were talking about it here and you were talking about it in TechSabado.
Yes.
Yung paglipat, December pa yon. Tito Jing, December pa yon.
And dapat kung nasa Malacanang na yan, dapat nasa batas na siya. Mukhang hindi pa
Correct, dapat batas na siya. Yep.
And speaking of election, let's shift to the election. Momblogger, what's your feeling? Ano nararamdaman mo?
I'm always having positive affirmation and I get trolled for that in the comment section. I always say we will claim victory. Panalo na talaga. Ganon. Parang I want to bring in, positive vibes. Although I was a bit discouraged to tell you the truth yesterday.
Sabi ko kasi din ako sa'yo.
I'm frustrated because it's like 1 month late, there's something wrong there. Yeah. So I believe the surveys at a certain time, but it came out so late. So I'm really suspicious of the timing.
Yes, yes. Para sabi nga even that tawag mo rin satisfaction rating was
Oh,
press release from the other camp, and CNN wasn't having it.
Correct.
Sabi ng CNN, no, we're not having it.
Correct.
CNN, press release ito eh.
Oo.
Di ba? Kaso ginawang breaking news nung kabila.
Di ba best practices you have to disclose the press release?
No, not really.
Not really?
But the thing is, yun na nga eh, press release yan. It's like nung araw, meron akong press release ng isang phone company, isang sabihin ko na isang Korean phone company, yung comms nila, marami naman brand eh. So isang comms nila nagpadala ng press release saying that pangit yung battery nung isang Japanese phone company. Di ba? That's unethical.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes. Kung yung naglabas noon is the battery company, sinasabi nilang there's something wrong with our battery dito sa phone na to, it's okay, but not the competitor saying there's a problem with the battery, you should not buy that. Di ba? Ganun yung nakita ko ron eh. SWS should be the one
to be releasing it.
Yes, not the competitor. Di ba? Yung kalaban
Pero,
mo.
Actually, ang defense nila dyan, ang defense ng both SWS and Pulse Asia dyan, is because it's quote-unquote readily available daw sa mga websites nila. Pero, sila may control ng website, sila rin ang may control kung kailan lalabas eh. Di ba?
No,
Lahat ng material na yon.
That's not true.
Right?
Pulse Asia, I got it through the email. And somebody even asked me, wala sa website, where did you get your information? I said, I can send it to you via email. So
And
it's not right away. Hindi ka,
correct. That's what I mean. That's what I mean, Noemi.
Oh.
They claim that it's available on the website, but when you check or when the schedule comes out, wala. Di ba? Walang dumadating.
So, sabihin nung sila nagpa-commission nun, ayaw lang na sabihin.
Oo, sila nagpa-commission o hirap
kasi yun yung
halukayin.
usapan namin ni Noemi earlier before the show started na dapat nga transparent sila kung sino nagpa-commission nung survey. Kasi nga, kunyari, kung hindi pabor doon sa nagpa-commission yung sa benefactor, hindi pabor sa kanya yung survey, walang silbi yun sa survey company. Hindi na pwede labas yun unless sinabi nung benefactor, sige, labas nyo kahit talo kami. Kaso syempre, ikaw ako yung benefactor, so, please, wag nyo yung labas kasi it will be, kunyari, yung soft drinks, mas mabenta yung kalaban, na prove mo na dahil sa survey, mas mabenta yung competitor mo. Syempre, sabi mo, wag mo na ilabas. Yung survey company, walang right para ilabas yun unless nagpaalam, may approval ng benefactor, di ba? So, ganun lumabas na yung satisfaction survey na yun, sila ko nagpa-commission doon. Kasi if they have the data themselves.
Correct.
Di ba?
Suspicious talaga yung timing.
Talaga yung timing.
Oo, di ba? After nagkaroon ng malaking gathering ng people, na sabi mo nga, sinesurvey ng drone, di ba? Tapos nakikita. Kasi sa kabila, sibuyas eh. So, di ba, nakikita ng drone. Tapos pagkatapos yung makita ng drone, kasi, di ba, ang problema ng mind conditioning na ginagamit mo yung survey, they claim hard data and numbers. When you look at a drone shot, you can only estimate. Di ba? Meron nga isa dyan, si Jay Padriaga, si Webbuzzer sa Twitter. Lagi yon naglalabas sa mga litrato, kinakrap. Sinasagot ko sa Twitter, pinapakita ko yung original na litrato and so on and so forth. But you don't get any response eh. Kasi hanggang dun lang talaga yung labanan. It's just really a bunch of disinformation na talagang tinatapon.
Hindi,
diba?
Yun na nga, they won't even give you a proper response kasi nga hanggang dun na lang nga yung,
correct.
Yung ibig sabihin, ito yung ipupush mo and wag ka nang sasagot.
Tama. Diba?
Hanggang dun lang yon. So, they don't have, kumbaga hindi ka nabibigyan ng benefit of a response. Kasi nga, ito lang, hindi lang sa hanggang dito lang, pero ito lang talaga ang dapat mong makita. Kasi it's a battle of optics ngayon eh. Doon na sila na medyo nayayanig, kasi may naging battle of the optics. Kaya nga, di ba, it's already a joke. It's already a joke online na right after a big rally,
yes.
The next day, may survey. Ilabas sa survey, di ba?
We're expecting a survey.
Yes, yun na nga. It's already a joke. So tingnan natin. Especially, di ba, Noemi, yun na nga sabi mo, luma yung data. We always say, 3 weeks ago. That's so Jurassic. That's so
explanation. What's their explanation for the late release? I haven't seen it.
Okay lang naman eh. Tingin ko dahil yung analysis, yung mga ganyan, yung mga may gagawin pa sila. And problema kasi ngayon because of the internet, because of high-speed internet, people are looking for real-time numbers, real-time results, di ba? I'm not gonna wait for another 2 weeks just malaman kung bebenta ba yung produkto ko o hindi. Lugi na ako by then.
Correct.
Ganun yung di ba? Ganun ang survey ngayon. So, yun nga, sabi rin namin nag-agree naman kami ni Noemi, yung methodology na ginagamit ng mga survey company, may siguro questionable na yun, pero it's still accurate. Tama yung survey, wala namang problema. Ang problema kasi transparency nga. Saan ba kayo nag-survey? Sino ba yung mga taong tinanong ninyo? Wala namang problema kung 1,004, di ba? Noemi, wala namang problema kung 2,006 out of 100 million.
Scientific. If done the proper way, I mean, we know it's really random. How were they picked? Because the question there is, was it chosen in a place where there's a lot of banners, tarps of the candidate? So may name recall na talaga. Or, it has never been revealed how they did it, yung random sampling, how they chose it, how random it was chosen. Because I know the old-fashioned way, 1980s, na you have a map and then you randomly, there's a set of numbers that you choose in a certain, if I remember, barangay, yung ganyan. And by the number of houses, you 1, 2, 3, 4. And were they even registered voters, di ba?
Correct.
I mean,
although identified naman sila as registered voters. So problema, pero kulang pa rin yung transparency.
Yung household,
diba?
How it was done.
How it was done. My only wonder there, Noemi and Tito Jing, is this. When I was working for a car company and we're out to release a car that will sell, say, 100 units per month. Yung base ng survey namin, mas malaki pa sa... We would survey 2,800 people from all over the Philippines to get 70 people to sit down in an FGD. That's only for a car that will sell 100 units a month for 5 years, di ba? Kailangan mo makakuha ng tamang selection ng randomly selected respondents galing sa iba-ibang class. Ang sabi ng Pulse Asia, ganun daw yung ginagawa nila. Pero repeatedly hinihingi natin yung proseso kung paano ma-determine. Kasi napaka-focus naman nung kanilang na kahit may babasa sa balita, kahit merong mangyari sa on the ground, kahit, di ba, hindi sila naapektuhan consistently. Duterte leads, Marcos leads. Why is it like that? Di ba? Why is it like that?
At saka doon din kaya rin nagkakaroon na rin ng doubt and suspicion yung mga tao kasi nga kulang talaga sa transparency and they don't even explain. Parang they just want us to
lunukin.
Suck it all up, di ba? Parang yun lang yun eh. Suck it, di ba?
May confidence level din kasi yan, plus or minus. So,
yes.
They try to err. It could be
yung error margin nandiyan, di ba?
May error margin pa sila. So that's their leeway. But I don't know. That kind of survey should not happen anymore. Parang
ako okay lang sa akin basta may transparency nga. Tama yung transparency po issue ko diyan eh. So if suddenly people lose faith in survey companies, it's their own undoing.
Correct.
Kasalanan nila yon. Malaki pagkukulang nila when it comes to transparency. I don't question the methodology. It's been used since time immemorial. I don't question that. Maraming pero still, in the age of the internet, in the age of fast internet, broadband internet, 5G, people are looking for something else. They don't even bother what happened yesterday. What they want to know is what's happening now.
Correct.
Diba? Ganun ngayon, ganun kabilis sa high pace ng mga tao.
Kaya kailangan natin paalala sa mga nakikinig sa atin, ang mga survey po, hindi po yan prediction. Ang survey ay isang snapshot in time. Isang, 'di ba, isang usapin, isang conclusion na ginawa mo doon sa panahon na ginawa mo yung survey, 'di ba? Kaya gumagalaw yan dapat gumagalaw yan dapat sumasabayan doon sa mga nangyayari. Yung mga totoong survey tulad ng mga nangyayari sa Amerika, kahit napakaliit ng number, randomly selected. For example, 2 or 3 per state covering several economic classes. Pagdating ng survey, yung snapshot na yun is a pretty accurate picture. When Trump, di ba? When Trump was running, di ba? When Biden was running. After the email scandal of Hillary Clinton, bumagsak yung numbers niya. All based on snapshots of time from surveys. Not, hindi po prediction yan. Kasi yun yung lagi sinasabi. Pag matalo yung manok namin, ibig sabihin nandaya.
Yes, hindi
diba?
ganun yun. Hindi ganun.
Hindi
Kaya
ganun
ako,
yun.
actually, nandun din ako sa point na hindi ko kini-question yung results. Ang kini-question ko parati yung transparency.
Yes,
yun ang
that's
parati
true.
kong sinasabi. Siyempre, kaya nga ganito na yung mga tao mag-isip about surveys. Siyempre, lalo na pag parati sinasabing kulelat yan, yung mga tao na passionate dun sa isang tao, sa kanilang, sa kanilang kandidato, talagang masasaktan.
Correct.
Hindi natin maano yan, hindi natin maalis yan eh. Tapos i-question ngayon nila yung veracity ng mga survey niya. Ano ba yan? Ano ba yan? Ba't ba ganyan? Manipulated, mind conditioning. Kasalanan ng mga survey companies yun for me. Kasi people don't understand what's happening talaga. Especially yung hindi na maintindihan. 1,004 compare sa 60 million voters. Di ba? Yun na yung narrative eh.
No.
Ang hirap ng baliin yung narrative na yun eh.
Tito Jing, kambyuhin ko lang yung kwento tungkol kay kasi when I first met Noemi, I don't know if Noemi will remember that. Momblogger pa siya, tapos naalala ko yung kwento niya. You were invited, Noemi, to the Philippine Women's University, if you remember that.
Oh yeah.
Di ba? So I was yep. So I was Mong Palatino was there, and so I had my whole class.
You were teaching at that time, right?
Yes. So I told my whole class to attend because previous to that, naririnig ko na si Noemi. Tapos ang gusto kong pakwento kay Noemi, yung kwento niya kasi kung paano nabuo yung vlog. I hope you can tell that story, Noemi, kahit kapiraso. Paano nabuo yung vlog as a way for her to cope with something tragic that happened to her.
Yeah, I mentioned it briefly. Like, I've seen how a blog can, it's a way of telling your story. And I wanted to reach out because grief was very taboo in the mid-2000. No? My son died 2000 kasi. And so I said, I'm going to have a blog. So in 2006, I started it because I had a grief support group and I wanted to share my story. The thing was, parang feeling ko, parang very sad yung story ko. Nobody will read it. So I just, because my target was just the parents who lost a child or anyone. And then when I started sharing my story about how I lost my son and the pain and the sadness and how I'm trying to start a new normal, I used the new word new normal, I found out that people who have losses, hindi lang loss of a child or loss of a husband, could relate to me, could relate that, example, you lost a job, it could relate to the pain. So that's how I touch. So it's also emotions. I was able to get in touch with my readers. It was not necessarily my story. It was them who could relate to what I was saying. But then I wanted to reach out to more people. So I attended iBlog to introduce myself to bloggers, and I said, I want to help. So that's how because you have to go offline also to reach out to your audience. Yeah. That's what I did. February that month, there was iBlog I attended. And then when there was a call for bloggers to attend an event, I introduced myself. I think I should be considered. You need to be kapalmoks, market yourself. I think you should consider me because I'm in the older age group, and it's very good for the market. So I was just marketing myself, and that's how I got known. You really have to go out there, promote yourself, promote your blog, promote your advocacy for you to be known. So hindi lang puro online. And even I knew that from the start that I had to market myself. So from then on, they knew my story. I went to the popular bloggers like Manolo Quezon, Abel Andres. I made friends with them. And that's how I got chika lang. And
Mm.
then that time there were blog awards, and I used it as a way to promote really my blog. And then I found out that it was very valuable. I didn't know that you could use it to reach out to a lot of people. And then PR people noticed that blogs is a way to influence, and that time they got you for politics. So it really evolved, you really have to evolve with the times, and use your blog for good. So that's what I did.
And
And
About
one of the things that you did sa blog mo, yung election watch, right? May
yes,
grupo kayo. You created a group.
because the PR people wanted to bring bloggers in. They thought that they were influential. So I was one of the first bloggers who was invited to Rojas, Mar Rojas, and then Villar pa nga and all of that. And then PCIJ decided to include bloggers in the first automated election because they wanted to reach out to more people. So they knew the power of bloggers in the late 2000s. So that's how we started, because that was an output of a workshop to reach out to the youth. So we use the blog as a vehicle for information. And I remember our first article there is how to vote in an automated election. That one had a lot of hits kasi bago pa, it was really very new that time. But now we have so many blogs, so much social media, my TikTok and all that. So I'm in another field.
And you adapted, right?
Yeah, I've adopted. I'm now in TikTok.
correct.
Yeah, I saw some of your TikTok.
But
It's really
pero Noemi, how do you clear through that clutter? How will you advise young bloggers coming in to clear through all of that clutter? Kasi ako, the way I noticed that you did it was you were consistent in an advocacy, and you were always for the truth. Hindi ka nagpadala sa things like this. Even if kasi a lot of people think that when I have a YouTube channel, when I become a blogger, I'm going to get rich and so on and so forth. But it's not all that. The content that you develop has to have will create some sort of traction. So what did you do?
I think it's also you need to have a strategy. We call it now content strategy. But that time, I really wrote down what is my purpose for blogging. I am for women and children, and promote the truth about what the conditions of women and children, and it just came naturally. And at that time, bloggers were also used to get blogger advertising, and we have to disclose where we get our income. So I disclosed that. I was with Nafnang, and it's all there in the disclosure in the blog. I put that. I don't think there's something like that now with other social media. You don't know where they're getting their money. But I said that I was in Nafnang. I even filed income tax. I started filing income taxes that time when they started to advertise in blogs. So it's about being really you disclose where you earn your money, and how you earn it, and how you correct your entries, and what kind of products you will never ever advertise. Like, I don't like alcohol, I don't like infant formula, all those things. So you need to set boundaries talaga in your content, and be consistent about it. So parang at that time, hindi naman, right now, hindi na ako bagay sa mga lifestyle. I do though, especially in technology, but it's not like before na we were very few bloggers, so we would be brought to other countries and then promote certain products. But these are products that you like, and that's now for the younger generation, for the Instagram influencers. I'm not there anymore. I'm more of fact checking, being a columnist, technology. I love technology until now. So, ganyan. You really have to adapt. You have to adapt with the change of time. So, hindi na, in fact, I don't blog so much anymore because I have this column.
Storeway column ko. Pero hindi, one of the advantages na meron si Noemi as a blogger, she writes well. That's why nagkaroon siya ng column sa The Manila Times. You know naman, The Manila Times is not just an ordinary newspaper. It's one of the...
Oh my God, it takes me like 4 hours to write. Oh my God, what's that?
Hindi naman especially when you write for a newspaper, hindi ka naman pipitsugin lang na columnista na kahit sino na lang pwede. Marami talagang mga nasa dyaryo na iba yung level eh. Di ba? Noemi, iba level, di ba? Pag nasa newspaper.
I told you kasi na, you know what? Hindi ko type talaga may deadline. But, I want to get that challenge talaga. And you know how useful Manila Times was? It gave me credentials to cover an event in Berlin because I needed to be attached to a news agency. Pero wala akong idea. Pero kapalmoks na lang because I had a lot of articles na. And so they saw it. And every year they keep inviting me except may pandemic. And another one was when I got a YouTube grant. I needed to be attached to some mainstream media. So I put their Manila Times columnist. They accepted it naman. So it really opened doors for me. And that's why talagang masipag ako magsulat.
And she never missed a deadline, sa totoo
Yeah,
lang.
since June 2018. Oh my
Inagahan
God.
ko pa nga yung deadline.
4 years.
Oh, yes. Inagahan ko pa nga dahil kailangan ko rin magsara na maaga.
Oo nga, dati
Friday, okay lang eh. Wednesday na ang deadline.
Thursday morning ko pa nga.
Thursday morning, gano'n.
Thursday early morning. Pero nakakatawa yung experience ka sa columnist. It's different from a blogger because talagang may deadline ka and then of course, if you are traveling, sabi ko, oh my God, may deadline ako. So I'm from example San Francisco, magta-type na ako. I do it offline, mag-research ako and put it in a notepad and then start writing the airplane. So sa example, I was in San Francisco that time, then nag-land kami sa I don't know where was that, Hong Kong yata. And then mag-write na ako, then submit. Yung ganyang type talaga. And then another time is in the tip of the mountains. Talagang nanginginig na ako. That's how devoted I am.
Sa mga nakikinig sa atin, ganyan po, hindi po basta-basta, kunyari, nagsusulat ka sa dyaryo or it's not a blog. Iba po yung discipline po of being a columnist for a newspaper. Especially yung newspaper it's a daily platform, no? Na kailangan may daily content ka.
Correct.
Buti nga, once a week lang no?
Ito, Jing, kung reporter ka, you're required 3 stories a day.
3 stories a day.
Believe ako dun. Grabe how they do that.
Mga quota yun. Minimum yun, ha? 3 stories. Oh
my God, how do they do that? How they write? I see people write like that, oh. Hindi ko talaga makuha yun. Okay na yun.
Especially now, the competition is so tough, no? When it comes to coming out with content for your platform. Kasi nga, nauuna pa yung Twitter at saka Facebook. So kailangan maunahan mo sila. Kaya basahin ko lang itong mga kasi baka matabunan ako ng mga nagko-comment sa atin. Basahin ko lang ng konti. Okay. Nabasa ko na po yung gwapo mo, Sir Jing. Nabasa ko na yan.
Sabi
okay.
Si Michael Lance.
Ano sabi ito?
Nakaka-inspire ang story ni Ma'am Noemi.
Of course, kaya nga siya nandito eh. Alam ko na marami may inspirants even kahit hindi Women's Month ini-invite ko si Noemi sa mga shows kasi very inspirational yung kwento niya eh. Talagang touching. Kahapon pala is Pi Day, sabi ni Michael Lance. Death of physicist Stephen Hawking at birthday ni Albert Einstein. Totoo pala yung reincarnation. Ito may sinabi si Atty. Tonson tungkol sa SIM card. Sabi niya, SIM card and social media registration bill was enrolled by Congress last February 3. If it was given to Malacanang that same day, then it has already lapsed into law. It aims to criminalize anonymity. Pero mukhang hindi pa kasi wala pang balita eh. Ito naman si Nato, try to move out of PH. Alex Fuentes of Bacolod. Thank you, Alex Fuentes. To the people of Negros and the city of Bacolod. Maraming salamat sa inyo sa ginawa ninyong pag-welcome sa atin. presidential candidate. Mates Salviejo. Salviejo ka ba si Mates? Hello po, parang may iba sa'yo, Sir Jing. Real men were pink, Yahoo. Sabi niya, no? Sabi, gabi napapansin, no? O, si ano daw, si Real men were pink daw, sabi sa'yo, no? Ito na nga, City of Smile, sabi nga ni Alex Fuentes, good evening sa inyo. Mates, pogi nga, oh. Talaga pag pogi, binabasa ko talaga yan. Sibuyas talaga. Oh, okay, bottom mo yan, ha? Mates, bottom. Okay, bagay. Sabi ni Kalin Lanuza, Lenny should do a rally in Davao City para bang in your face rally. Pinagbawal nga pinagbawal nga ang caravan. Kaya nga, yun. Pero nagka-caravan sa ibang lugar, wag lang sa bayan niya. Baka daw mabatukan, matauhan sila. Tin de los Reyes, nice, sabi niya. Bagong hairdo, mukha kang fresh, kintab ng hair, Oo, ano lang. Nadulas ako sa pentel pen. Straight and shiny, ang galing ng hairdresser, sabi ni Kalin.
Mahaba pa sa buhok.
Mahaba pa sa buhok ng vlog.
Oo, tingnan mo yun.
Yung friend ko, nagpapanik dahil sa survey results. Matatalo daw tayo. How could I answer that comment? Sabi mo na lang, kulelat po si Lenny. Number 4 po siya noong 2016 o number 5. Doon na lang po nyo tingnan. Tama ba ako, Noemi? Number 4, number 5 siya noong 26?
Yeah.
At alam niyo na kung sino number 1 noong 2016 for Vice President.
Yes.
So, doon na lang po tayo umasa. God will provide. Ganun na lang. Winky Tribdino, good evening. Watching from New York City. Winky, good morning sa'yo. Okay. Bawa ko sa'yo, Miss Noemi. Sabi ni Mel, brave. Ano sabi niya? Brave and strong. You inspired many women, including me. Sabi ni Mel Dominguez. Magbabago na yan kasi nag-snowball effect. Sabi, oh yes, we will waiting for the March after, after March 1 data. That's what we're waiting for kasi puro old data po yung nilalabas nila. Pinipiga nila yung mga old data, no? Okay, Alexander Paray, good evening po. Timothy J. Tan, good evening po. Good evening sa inyong dalawa. Nakaka-inspiring story ni Miss Noemi, sabi ulit ni Michael. Ignore, you can allay their fears. They need to see and learn from your actions, sabi niya ni Nato. May tanong ako kay Miss Noemi, anong masasabi niya sa cyber libel law? Okay, sasagutin yan. Bago Noemi, teka lang, tapusin ko lang itong bago mo sagutin yung question about cyber libel law. Hello po mga sir, sabi ni Ace Guerrero C. Flash mo into screen, Jing. Ang alin yun? Okay. Yung yata, yung i-flash yung kanyang link. May link siyang binigay Mamaya tingnan natin link.
Ay, oo, nakita ko yung link ngayon, maganda.
Maki-flash nga yung link ni ni Atty. Tonson, ang boses ng ating konsensya.
Galing.
Bagay po yung hair nyo, Tito Jing, sabi ni Alexandra Paray. Patricia Kate Albayalde, good evening po. Ganda po ng hair ninyo, Tito Jing. Okay. Moy, pa-shoutout po. Good evening. Evening guys. Moy! Okay, yun. Na-shoutout na kita. Mga never pang natatanong sa survey. For Lenny. Sige, flash mo nga yan. Okay, about cyber libel. Kasi nga, si Momblogger nga, nagsusulat pa ate. At least tayo, Noemi, hindi pa tayo na-libel. Despite the fact na Manila Times is a libel-laden newspaper. Pero tayo mismo, yung boss natin, si Dante ang Junior, si Clink. Daming kaso niyan. Oo, daming mga columnist niya dahil sa mga columnist ng Manila Times. From both sides. Coming from both sides of the political spectrum yung mga libel cases niyan.
I'm very mindful about libel, because my husband is a lawyer, and he had a blog too, thewarriorlawyer.com, and he wrote about libel, and he talked about this to bloggers that even if it's true and you felt slighted, you can really be sued for libel. What I don't like about libel is the criminal aspect be decriminalized. Okay ang civil, and there was a blogger who contacted me to talk to be a resource person now for the courts I don't want to be a resource person because it could be used against bloggers. So I said, I'm sorry, I don't want to be a resource person. That's why I never want to appear as a witness, because they will use it. They will use it to prosecute bloggers. So I'm very careful about it. And if I have questions, I always ask my husband, "Do you think this is libelous like that?" And he will advise me. And there was only one libel case, almost libel, a demand letter from my other online site. But then we had to delete lang a sentence. So those things, we don't insist na lang kasi, I know how it is, how the cases
Yes,
are. I have seen a blogger in 2007 who had been spending a lot of money for a case. He's a tech blogger, di ba? And then it took so many years and how many hundreds of thousands. Ayoko nun. So as much as possible, I try to get both sides. It's also the way you write. You have to write in such a way that di ka lang tira ng tira, but you also get their side. So that's how I evade being being libelous. But in some cases, I don't know why some cases like my friend is being sued already. Because I think they were until now may case against Tito Soto, di ba? You're a public figure. I mean,
Pag manipis ang balat, kung balat sibuyas. So...
It comes with the territory, di ba? I mean, I would not sue if I'm being trolled, and then I won't sue. Yeah. I won't sue.
Yes, kasi nandiyan ka sa linya na yan so might as
well,
di ba?
Part of the territory.
Yes.
So, ganyan.
So same din yung issue namin ni Noemi about cyber libel or libel itself, yung criminal aspect nito. Yes. It should be just a civil case. Kaso dito sa Pilipinas, ginawang criminal ang libel. So, isabihin may kulong. Kasi pag civil lang, parang danyos, tawag doon? Tama ba na? Danyos pa tawag doon. Sabihin ni Atty. Thompson kung anong tawag doon. Pero yung magbabayad ka. So, pero yun na nga yung criminal aspect, yun ang problema. Which is, yun ang issue ng mga journalists sa Pilipinas. Ang pinaka-issue pa, isang pang-issue sa sa cyber libel, magkahiwalay yung cyber libel sa libel itself. So pwede kang kasuhan twice. Right. Diba? From the based on the cybercrime law, anti-cybercrime law, and tawag doon sa regular law na about that libel thing, yung parang Republic Act ba yun or something, pero yun na yun. Diba? Yun ang dalawa kaso mo magkahiwalay. Hindi siya pwedeng isa lang. Correct. Yun ang nagiging problema rin dito, nagiging issue. Tama ba ako, Atty. Thompson? Para lang fact check lang, para mamaya mali naman yung sinasabi ko. Tapos mapagbintangan pa tayong spreading fake news. Anyway, sabi ni Saldi ako diyan. Ayun, yung tungkol nga sa mga hindi pa natanong sa survey for Lenny. Yan. Never pang natanong sa survey for Lenny. Yan po. And of course, nice thing about today is Tuesdays that the hosts take their time to read comments of their followers. Of course.
Of course.
Joey Tikisa, nice look po, Sir Jing. Hindi ka na kamukha ni Tatanino sa bawal gang ni Michael.
Ang lupit naman nun. Ang lupit naman nun.
Same with TechSabado raw, sabi ni Dato, yung binabasa natin yung mga yung mga comments. Kasi nga gusto namin interactive to kasi nga ang saya nga kasi basahin mga comments, pati mga comments ninyo Yan, katulad niya, natawa sila kay Joey at Tikisa yung comment just tungkol sa buko. Hindi, naantay ko yung buko na babalik sa silver. Naantayin ko ulit yun. So, abangan nyo. Debatable pa yan. Court has to decide. Ako, interpretation ko sa cyber libel absorbs plain vanilla libel. So, just one case allowed.
One case allowed.
One case allowed, sabi ni Atty. Thompson. It's good to have a lawyer, no?
Yes, always there.
Kasi wala si attorney, wala si Atty. Melvin, kaya yung tuloy kailangan natin. Kaya kailangan natin matanong natin. Yan, sabi debatable pa raw yan tungkol sa, yun nga yung, actually, nung 2012 when it was interpreted to us, parang ganun nga yung dating. Pero I think it never happened. 'Di ba? Parang hindi pa yata nangyayari yung
parang
free
ano lang, I was in that session, Jing, parang nilipat yung same, lahat ng mga conditions for libel to happen na nangyari, nilipat lang sa digital space. Kaya yun yung justification nila na dalawa. Yun yung, di ba?
Yeah.
Because yung libel, alam ko yan kasi naramdaman ko na yan, Revised Penal Code Article 353 ata. When during the time of Jake Makasait, the owner of Malaya Business Insight, he, as president of the Philippine Press Institute, he was pushing for libel to become a civil case, taking away the criminal component. Pinatatanggal niya yung criminal component simply because ang sabi niya, ang lagi niyang kinikwento sa amin is that yung criminal component dapat yung because libel is always malicious. There is always a malice intended for it, di ba? To defame someone, to destroy someone's reputation, and so on and so forth, di ba? Pagka free speech na yung pinag-uusapan, nagiging very blurred yung usapin na yon. Kailangan i-prove mo, i-detect mo, real or imaginary, yung act or yung omission na yon na talagang merong nakakabit na ganon. So, pagka ganon, take it away as a crime and then leave the civil component para naman magkaroon ng order, 'di ba? Para magkaroon ng rights din yung maraming tao. Yan yung takbo diyan. Kaya yung cyber libel, ang cyber libel kasi nakakatakot eh. Parang attorney ano ba yan? May tama ba yung definition na sinabi ko? Na lumipat lang yung space kasi yun lang yung explanation sa atin noon, Jing eh. 'Di ba? I remember that.
Isa pang issue na sa sa especially for digital. Hindi mo basta-basta pwedeng i-delete lang eh.
Yes.
Diba?
Yes.
Ganun eh.
Correct.
Or hindi mo pwedeng i-edit lang kasi like for example sa newspaper, nandun yun printed yung print form.
Correct.
Hindi mo mababago eh. It's already in the print eh. So forever siya na sa kasi sa digital may tendency kasi, papalitan ko lang. Kasi edit ko lang yung sa CMS. Hindi pa rin eh, di ba? Hindi pa rin katanggap-tanggap, which also happened with with Rappler. That happened to Rappler. Yung cyber libel nga sa kanila nung isang na kahit na kinasuhan sila kahit na hindi pa effective yung time na yon.
Because they edited it.
Tapos, sabi ni Atty. Tonson, tama si Kuya Trip. Supreme Court said in the Dicini case libel in RA 10175, ito po yung anti-cybercrime law noong 2012. It's just libel with the use of a computer system. In fact, the law does not even have the word cyber libel in it.
Yes. Yes. Ginawa lang yung alternative title. Tama.
Teka, may tanong dito. Teka lang, basta sabi ni Tina David, Sir Jing, trending ka, gwapo kaya. Alam mo, trolling na yan ha. Trolling na yung ginagawa nyo ha. Bayad kayo.
Gusto naman yung trolling na yan. Mel, ikaw ba may kagagawan yung trolling na yan?
Bayad kayo ha.
Bayaran na kayo.
Nagbigay kayo ng nagbigay yata ng mga GCash number yung mga yan. Tsaka payment.
Teka, papasa ko yung sa akin.
Jerry Conto, mga sir, bakit napakatagal ng respond ni Meta sa mga report about false information nagkalat kasi ang mga paninira kay VP Lenny. Nako, Noemi, pati ako magsusumbong sa'yo, di ba? Sige nga, konting words from you when it comes to that.
Well, yeah, the latest one, yung Acido, talaga not taken down. I said I insisted on it being reviewed.
Violence, no? It's violence.
Because that's my problem talaga. Do they even have Tagalog, what's this? Whoever is checking it or the Autobot, they don't know what's Acido or something. I mean, they don't get the context. So I think it's it's automatic at first, the reply.
Tapos titingnan tapos
pero matagal sila mag-review. Wala na, tapos na.
Isa pang issue diyan, no. Unlike ito napansin ko kaya ako parating ko complain ito dati nung may access pa ako with Facebook people. Remember, I can give blue checks to people, di ba? A few years ago I can provide that kasi Facebook gave me just a bit of power on Facebook kung sino sa mga colleagues mo pwede magkaroon ng verified check sa kanilang mga names. tapos yung may dumidiretso ako sa Singapore complaining, di ba? Tapos yung mga issue ko nga sa nila, yung about, yes, yun nga tama ka, naiintindihan ba nung nag-review yung language natin? Ang problema nga, kung meron nga mga Pilipino, kamusta naman yung political bias nila? Yung biases ng mga tao. Mga Pinoy, very emotional when it comes to they bring their emotions inside their office, di ba? And which sana kung call center siya, pwede pa kasi I see how they train call center, no? You really have to leave your emotions sa door. Parang sa US, nakita ko sa US, grabe yung talagang wala sila, yung kumbaga pagpasok na sa opisina, pagdating sa trabaho, biglang mawawala yung bias nila to everything.
Yep.
Yung talagang para silang robot na wala silang emotion, wala silang feeling. Binakita ko ganoon sa US na talaga trabaho lang talaga lahat. Everyone's equal. Ang problema sa Pilipinas hindi ganoon. Filipinos are born not that way. Kasi Americans they can di ba? Iba yung ugali ng Americans, iba yung culture nila. Pero sa Pilipinas hindi. Talagang dito kapag kahit kamag-anak mo malayo, pwede may emotional attachment ka pa rin, di ba? So kahit na sobrang layo lang, minsan kahit wala kayong relationship, basta akala nyo lang may dikit kayo, meron pa rin yun din yung sinasabi ko nga sa mga going back to the people's Facebook na sinusumbungan ko a few years back when I was still in interaction. Kaya tanong ko sa kanila, kamusta yung biases ng mga tao? Not only political, in anything, even religion, social, lahat ng aspect ng buhay. Especially religion paano na lang, 'di ba? How do you deal with atheists, 'di ba? On Facebook, 'di ba? Yung mga ganon talaga meron talaga meron talagang nagiging problema parate. Lalo na pag politika, naku, napakainit ng
That's why we cannot rely on Facebook to take down the fake news. That's why we have to be the ones to push it out there that it is fake, it's false.
Yes.
We have to be the one. Parang marami, it's more than what they can cope. That's why we have this hashtag #FactsFirstPH and check that page. Kasi pero kulang talaga, it gets viral fast the fake
mabilis.
Mabilis
diba?
Talaga.
Sa isang session natin, I think ang usapan natin, it's within 4 hours dapat na-tame na natin yung di ba? It's within 4 hours dapat na-tame na natin yung virality ng false information na yun, or else.
That 500,000, di ba? I mean, agad So,
yung 500,000, no? And,
I have to question that right away. I have to question. I don't care. I don't care if they get mad at me. Because it's how did you verify 500,000?
Where did you get
in Las Piñas, di ba?
Yeah. Grabe. So may pagkakasya yung taong yun, di ba?
And then na-fact check sa hapon, di ba?
Yes.
So na-share na yan, pero in the morning talagang maraming
breaking news pa yun sa newspaper, di ba?
Breaking news. Ginamit pa na clickbait. Ginamit pa na clickbait nung dyaryo na yun.
And you don't do that. If you di ba, you don't, kahit yung editor, hindi niya na-realize na it can't happen.
Correct. Hindi inintindi.
Hindi naman na-question.
The context, di ba? I mean, how is that possible? 500,000.
Yeah, di ba? Yun na nga
Pero hindi naman.
It wasn't 500,000. That 1 million, I think, million people march. We're a lot, but hindi ganun.
Yes.
Tinawag lang na million people.
Even that, dapat kinall out na yun doon pala sa opisina nila, kinall out na dapat yun. It doesn't even people outside or people in social media calling them out. Dapat inside. Internally, it was already
people were calling it out. So I think that's the way to we can't rely on the platforms to say take it down. We really have to be there, really be proactive to say this
call
is
out people.
False, lacks context. Talagang aggressive talaga.
Yes, so ganun ako kahit na tita ko pa yan, kahit na tito ko yan, call out ko sila privately. I'll call them out.
Yes.
If it's really false information, or kasi it's either they were just misinformed, which is okay lang.
Okay, misinformed.
Okay lang kung na misinformed lang sila and hindi ko alam na mali pala. Hindi yung not talagang pushing. No, and that yan yan ang gusto kong mangyari.
Makapaniwala talaga di ba?
Gusto ko ano talaga eh. Gusto kong sirain yung ano nyo eh. Katotohanan ninyo.
Pero
that's disinformation already.
I noticed sa TikTok, talagang they appreciate the fact-finding, the fact-checking pala. And also YouTube, parang gustong-gusto nila. Siguro they're really confused. A lot of people are confused. I don't know about Facebook kasi hindi na ako masyado sa Facebook kasi ang dami na rin. Pero this is what I noticed with the newest, the video platforms. Gustong-gusto nila ang fact-checking. They want more of it. So
okay, that's so good. Yeah, that's really good to hear.
Kaya feeling ko talaga they're also really trying to filter the noise. I mean, ano ba talaga? And they keep telling me, can you fact check the platform of Bongbong? Bongbong supporter to ha, sabi ko. Tumingin na ako sa website, wala akong makita, nandun lang yung Milo Olympics, sabi ko. Something like that. I mean,
pero yes,
ko talaga, hinahanap ko.
And it's also a responsibility to tell the truth. Kung meron man talaga, di ba? Kahit anong color siya, di ba? Kahit anong color siya, we still have to, if they can also call us out kung mali tayo, then we can correct ourselves.
Yeah, so I also check on that kasi they also want to know. I mean, they're really BBM supporters who are really interested in his platforms. Sabi ko, punta kayo sa website, I'm telling you the truth. I cannot find anything there. Sabi ko.
Kasi kailangan manood nila na YouTube.
Gusto ko talagang mag-usisa talaga sa mga platforms ng although I did touch on it briefly. Correct. Pero kulang siya ng explanation. Even the unity is very
it's all motherhood statements nga. Yun na yung nagiging problema, which is something na hindi nga naiintindihan ng marami. Kailangan dapat tapos na tayo sa abasta at saka respect my opinion. Dapat tapos na tayo. We have to level up the discourse, di ba? Yung political discourse dapat level up na yan. Hindi tayo mga hindi naman tayo mga ang tawag mo rito, ayoko kasi gamitin yung word na bobotante na, or ayoko na kasi gamitin yung mga word na yun mga tanga. We just have to we just have to tell people to mag-level up naman yung understanding nila. Di ba?
Ano nga niya gagawin, di ba? Paano niya gagawin ang unity? Anong step? 1, 2, 3.
Correct.
Hindi klaro. Yun ang sabi ko, hindi klaro. So, interested sila. I mean, we just have to keep pushing it.
That's true. We just have to keep pushing and we just have to tell the truth. Yun lang ang weapon natin eh.
Saka kaya wag tayong kumalimot tayong magbasa ng headline. Kasi binabasa ko actually yung headline eh. Wala naman problema. Marcos camp says unity activities in Las Piñas attracted 500K. Baka 500,000 onions, di ba? Ang sinasabi nila. So, yung clickbait na ginagamit nila, napipilitan pumunta yung tao tapos i-share nila yung same kabalbalan, let's use that word, di ba? Same misguided, poorly constructed headline to do it. Tapos sagutin ko yung tanong ni Noemi tungkol dun sa TikTok tsaka yung Instagram platform. So, I attended yung fact-finding sessions of ICFJ. Tapos, yung TikTok, kaya gusto nila ng fact-checking is because the very mission of that platform is authenticity in their creativity. Dapat authentic daw lahat ng lumalabas. Di ba? So, yun ang gusto nila. As in the case,
they like it if you are the one talking. Not just screen caps or like that.
Yep.
Gusto nila yung tao.
Yep. So yung fact checking mahalaga sa kanila 'yan. Kasi lumabas yung TikTok na parang lugar ng sayawan at kwentuhan lang di ba? Pero TikTok is actually a place for learning and education. As a professor, I use all of these social platforms, to deliver lessons and stuff like that. So yun yung yun yung idea talaga niya yung. Tas syempre dahil nagde-develop yung content, mas mabilis pa dun sa pag-develop ng platform itself. Gusto nila talaga na magkaroon ng some sort of fact checking kasi ayaw nilang mababo yung mission nila na meron silang authentic platform. Sa Instagram naman at saka sa Twitter, lalo na sa Twitter, ganap talaga sa Twitter yung fact finding because the Twitterverse is a totally different world.
Yes.
Diba?
So true. Yeah.
It's a totally different world. covered by aliases and then multiple accounts, and di ba? Tapos doon sa mundo na yon, parang baliwala lang yung tira, merong isang titira hindi napapansinin, and if that starts to trend with a proper hashtag or something, ang bilis kumalat. That's why Twitter has taken a lot of responsibility in doing fact checking. Not only automated fact checking but also human collaborative peer reviews yung ginagamit. Removing content. Oo, mabilis sila mag-act.
Mabilis sila mag-act.
Yep, mabilis sila mag-act.
That's the better part of ng Twitter sa nangyari. Kaya nga mas maganda actually mag-hangout sa Twitter.
Yes.
Gusto ko rin tanungin kay Noemi, nakita mo yung Noemi, yung post ni Wilson Chua about yung noise and yung mga trolls sa Twitter, di ba? Meron siyang kita how Twitter is handling these people, no? They're already reigning over them.
Yep.
Yeah, I question that kasi sa Twitter. What do you do with coordinated? Because I know it is coordinated, inauthentic behavior. And ang bilis nila nag-act that I mean, they might have been planning it, but within that week, they removed 300 accounts?
Yes.
Inauthentic accounts. Talagang inauthentic naman kasi they organize and they're just so new.
Correct.
Oo.
At saka the very algorithm kasi of Twitter allows automatically identifying yung mga accounts na nake-create and so on and so forth. Twitter has been from the start, when it was only 120 characters, a bastion for truth. Kasi ang hirap magsinungaling ng kulang sa letra di ba? You're taught brevity, you're taught how to say it in the shortest, sweetest, most direct way. Di ba? Si Trump lang ang nagpadagdag ata ng additional 120
Pero di ba, nung araw nga, nung sa interaction ako, yung 140 characters,
140.
pagalingan
Oo, pagalingan.
How to put your entire story in 140 characters, di ba? Pagalingan yan
But Twitter can be an echo chamber. Kaya,
yes.
So,
social media naman.
I'm careful about Twitter because tinanggal nga nila yung yung mga Bongbong Marcos accounts
Can you just para sa mga nakikinig sa atin, sige, explain natin sa kanila kung ano yung echo chamber. Para mas maliwanagan din yung mga nakikinig natin. How does this happen and what can you do about it?
I mean, you're the same mindset. You share the same values and persons views, and you're just repeating yourself, echoing.
Kayo lang.
Kayo lang. And although there are some who will have contrary views, but not as much,
Yes.
That's why I'm afraid to really stay there. There's no way I can convince the others. But the reason why I am there is not because of the echo chamber. It's because your tweet can be picked up by international media or the traditional media, and that has happened a lot, and it amplifies your message. So there are a lot of people a lot of news agencies here and abroad who are listening into the conversations. So yun ang purpose ko sa Twitter. But as a way to influence, not really so much because echo chamber na nga ako. And then the way you choose your friends, baka kayo lang talaga nag-uusap. Wala, I don't see any Bongbong Marcos or anyone arguing with me. So parang sayang. I mean,
yes. And yun na nga yung kinakatakot ng marami, especially in Facebook, na baka tayo lang to.
Oo nga
Which is, yes, dapat maniwala kayo na kayo lang talaga yan.
Correct.
Diba? You have to understand that the
Yes.
echo chamber phenomena is real. It's
Yep.
real. And so, yun na nga kaya nga you don't need to cancel anyone. Lalo na pag against sa inyong kandidato, don't cancel that person. You need to hear their side, di ba? You need to hear what's happening on the other side. Hindi pwedeng ikaw lang at saka yung kaibigan mo magkapit-bahay. Magkapit-bahay na nga kayo pa yung magkasama sa echo chamber, di ba?
That's true. Tsaka you should try. I tried doing it a couple of times. I joined a BBM supporters group with all of my pink backgrounds. Trinol ako. Oo. Trinol ako. Tuntua ako na tinotroll ako kasi,
para
di ba? Yeah.
Mm.
You can find a way to to defend it. That's occasionally they'll throw you out, di ba? But in the chance that they don't throw you out, so for example, there was this one whole thread na binintang lahat, parang 32 lines of blaming the Aquino administration and past governments for sinagot ko isa-isa. Sinagot ko isa-isa. Sinagot ko isa-isa. Tapos naghihintay ako, sagutin niyo ako. Wala makasagot, di ba? Di ba, Tito Jing, you're an audiophile, di ba? Kino-construct yung echo chamber para magkaroon ng natural reverberations. Bigaw ka, Jing, di ba? Mag-uulit-ulit, di ba?
Ganun na nga.
Yun siya.
Yeah, but that's why I am now in TikTok or YouTube.
Yes.
Hindi siya talaga echo chamber and you
Correct.
can see. And then it actually makes you think. Sabi ko, don't you have anything good to say about Bongbong Marcos? And I'm trying to think, ano ba talagang ginawa niya? You know, mga ganyan. And or, why is your fact-checking all about Bongbong Marcos? Kasi ang dami talaga niyang fake news. Diba? I mean, how can it not be Bong? I put pa nga Chad Buok and the mga red tagging. Pero pumapasok talaga si Bongbong eh. I mean, things about the fake news that is coming out of his side.
Yeah, but that is of his doing. That is of his doing and his propagandists.
And then they say it's negative. I'm talking about him in a negative way.
Yeah.
And I have tried to make it as simple as possible and without any opinion, and it's still negative. Like example, like him saying the video, him talking, and then negative na daw ako. I mean, he's the one talking.
Yes.
It's grabe talaga. It's a different thing out there, and it's an experience that that makes me see that talagang echo chamber ako dun sa Twitter and Facebook. And you can see how the people are. Some are undecided, some are soft, some are really diehard, and it's a very nice feeling when you're able to convince someone na ay ayoko na sa kanya or something like that, or you know, I will think about it. So it's really good to go out.
Yes, yun ang ginagawa rin naman. Hindi lang go out outside your social media circle, but outside your house.
Yes,
outside your house. Correct.
I did that.
Yun po yung para yung ibig sabihin din namin ng go out, not only sa circle po na. Perfect example po ng echo chamber, itong comment section natin na sinasabing bagay sa akin yung buko at saka gwapo ako. Echo chamber po yan.
Yes, echo chamber yan.
Echo chamber yan.
Wala pang troll.
Wala pa troll yan, no? Di ba? Wala na troll. Nagsasabi, hindi ba yan? Yan ang echo chamber. Yan.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tayo lang.
tayo lang. Pero yes, dami natin kasama dito ngayon nanonood. And of course, medyo, overtime na nga tayo. Pero ang ganda kasi ng kwentuhan natin. And of course, pero yan po ang talaga, yan po talaga today's Tuesday. And I want to thank you, Noemi Dado-Lardizabal, isa pong columnista ko sa The Manila Times. Ang pangalan po ng column niya, Let's Talk Social. Yan, Let's Talk Social by Noemi Dado-Lardizabal. Every Sunday po lumalabas yan. Alam niyo naman po, pag sa TechSabado, pati ko ina-announce yung Sunday Business and IT. So, yan po yung kanyang column every Sunday. Meron din pong digital version yan at saka online version po. Noemi,
digital version?
Yes. Noemi, bigay ko sa iyo yung floor. Bigay ko sa muna yung floor and say something bago tayo maghiwa-hiwalay.
It's really important to go out and like if you want your candidate to win, it's now time to say who your candidate is and go out and campaign out there. And the time is talagang talk by families, hindi na lang individual to individual, kasi families are a great influence. Use your, and then I'm sure kung you're in social media and they know that you're exposed to a lot of people online, they like to know your opinion. Bakit si candidate, why Lenny, why Bongbong, or why Isko, ganyan. Kasi you have access to information. Alam mo din yung fact-checking. And that's really important to them. I realize na, wow, they're careful about fact-checking. Gusto pa nga nila, what's your anong source mo? I mean, what's your source? They're already asking questions like that. So I like that. But it's, it's hard in video to put your source. So I say, can you just Google? I mean, type lang. Kaya siguro marami na yung nagre-research. I think people are learning how to use search engines and not just to rely on
social media.
On the information given to them. So I think it's a good sign that they're researching. And that's all I can think of. This election is different from the elections that I have covered in the past.
Me too, yes. Yeah.
Yes, this is so different because for the first time, I am using my resources, I'm using my platform to promote a candidate, because I realized being neutral is not helping my country. And I regret it so much. In 2016, people kept asking me who to vote for, because people will really ask, who are you voting for, especially if they trust you, especially if you're someone known in the community. And I wish I did that. I wish I did that in 2016. So because of that regret, now I started early and said, this is my candidate. Lenny is my candidate because I know how she works. I've seen her work. So ganyan. And I voted for her as a VP. I interviewed her. I always keep saying that I interviewed her. I've watched her. Ganyan. So go out there and promote your candidate.
Yeah. Influence more people to vote for VP Lenny for the presidency in May 9. Yan po. Okay, Tito Trips, paalam na tayo.
Oh, sige. Talagang maganda yung usapan. Noemi, dapat
babalik si Noemi yan
babalik
dito.
Si Noemi, yes. And hopefully next week.
Before election,
before
election, then after election, pag-usapan natin post and pre-election. Yan.
Correct.
Magandang usapan natin yan.
Mga kwento sa election.
Yep. So, and then hopefully we can also have hover next week or the week after. Tapos Tito Jing, because it's still Women's Month, I'd also like to send first my condolences to the Kiambao family, sila Ma'am Belen Kiambao, si Ana, si Lek, si Daniel, tsaka si Sir Roland Kiambao on the death of Ma'am Belen's mother last week. So, yun po, I just Women's Month, si Ma'am Belen is, I believe, a good example of a powerful woman, a woman with substance. Parang si VP Lenny rin. Yan. So, ako po, hindi ho ako nagkukunwari ang aking boboto. Lahat ho ng pink. Pamaya magiging pink ho lahat yan. Hindi na ho ako nagtatago kung saan ako o sinong iboboto ko. So, number 10 po at number 7, si Raymund Tribdino po ito sa Tito Tribs ng Malaya Business Insight at ng Today's Tuesday. Magandang gabi po sa lahat. Back to you, Tito Jing.
Yes, again, thank you, Noemi Dado-Lardizabal. Woman advocate, especially sa mga write-ups niya sa kanyang blog at sa Manila Times. And of course, lumalabas po yung kanyang column sa The Manila Times every Sunday. Let's Talk Social sa pahina po na ini-edit ko, Sunday Business and IT. Okay, maraming salamat. Makikita niyo po siya I'm sure yung mga fans natin sa TechSabado talaga alam nilang nag-appear siya sa TechSabado. Okay, yan po. Jing Garcia po ng TechSabado.com and of course the Manila Times. Huwag niyo pong kalimutan na i-like at pag-subscribe sa ating YouTube channel and at the same time sa ating Facebook page na TechSabado, and meron na rin po tayong Today is Tuesday. Okay, angkla po ang Today's Tuesday sa TechSabado, kaya po sa YouTube na sa TechSabado website kami, pero ganoon din po sa aming Facebook page, pero meron na rin po sarili ang Today is Tuesday. Live streaming po ito every Tuesday. And huwag niyo pong kalimutan sa darating na Saturday, TechSabado naman with Atty. Melvin Calimag. At syempre, 8 PM din po yan ng gabi. Nasa Twitter din po kami at TechSabado at saka at Newsbytes.ph. Newsbytes.ph. Sa mga nanonood sa amin, meron pong paraan para po kami bigyan ng suporta. Click nyo lang po sa ating description below ng aming mga videos. And of course, maraming salamat PLDT Smart Group Corporate Communications Team para po sa walang humpay na pagsuporta ng ating mga online shows tulad po ng TechSabado at saka Today is Tuesday. Thank you MSI Philippines, VSTECS sa pagsuporta sa TechSabado.com website, and Maki and RCF Mixer para po sa ating audio equipment. Mabibili po yan sa The Music Source, themusicsourceph.com, locally distributed ng Forerunner Technologies. Okay, do what is morally good and do what is morally right. Vote for what is morally good and vote for what is morally right. Don't forget, TechSabado sa Saturday. Again, mga COVID survivors kami dito, except si Noemi, pero kami mga lalaki dito, lahat kami dito COVID survivors. Wear a mask, stay home, stay safe, and take that vaccine. Pag-available na po sa inyong lugar, at the same time, pati na rin po yung booster. Maraming salamat po. Babalik po kami next week. But till then, have a great week ahead. Maraming salamat again. Vote right. Vote Lenny and Kiko 2022.
Number 10 po.
Yes.
Today is Tuesday. You know what that means.